You're listening to an exclusive interview here on Sports Radio Beaumont, 1450, 1510, KIKR.
Okay, folks, joining us on the show this week, we have the master of the self-high five, the founder of DDP Yoga, the former WCW heavyweight champion, the one and only Diamond Dallas Page. Mr. Page, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on.
We certainly do appreciate having you on. We know your time is very limited because you're running all over the country, recording this and that. You recently founded DDP Yoga a couple of years ago, but it wasn't until the touching story of Arthur that got out almost a year ago now, pretty much exploded into the media, causing a frenzy, and it's caused your program, DDP Yoga, to be featured on numerous shows, including the Today Show, The Doctors. Did you ever expect it to gain as much popularity as it has and is continuing to gain?
Yeah, only because it's changing lives at a different level. In the beginning, it could have been any, weight loss program that really had nothing to do with weight loss. I never developed this workout for weight loss. I developed it to heal my body. And anybody who's listening, obviously wrestling fans who are listening to your show, a lot of them may have heard, but the bottom line is I didn't start wrestling until I was 35. Mm-hmm. My career did not take off until I was 40. That was in 1996, the beginning of the Monday Night Wars, which was probably the greatest time in professional wrestling as far as the fans are concerned anyway, because we had the WCW directly competing against the WWF, which is pretty fascinating at the time. And when that happened in 1996 and wrestling blew up huge, well, I was lucky that I put 5 years of working my ass off, and it all paid off. Because when wrestling blew up, so did my career. And 97 and 98, I was on top of the world, and then I blew out my back. I blew it out so badly. Actually, it was called my L4 and L5. I had ruptured those discs in between the vertebrae, and 3 specialists said my career was over. I just signed a multi-million-dollar 3-year deal, and they're telling me I'm done. It was pretty disheartening, but I actually was pulled back in. I was married at the time, and Kimberly was trying to get me to do yoga to heal my body, and my mindset was like, yoga? No way, I'm not doing that. So I get it when people say, DDP's doing yoga? What? I go, I get that. It came out of necessity. Mm-hmm. And I ended up, after about 3 weeks, feeling a significant difference. So I started, believing in it. And then I started adding it to my rehab that I was already doing. I started mixing them together, the rehab techniques with the yoga positions. And then I added in old school calisthenics, push-ups, squats, crunches. And then I added something that's never been done before. I'm going to have you do it right here with me. You know what the diamond cutter sign is? You push your thumb against your index fingers, right?
Absolutely.
And if you're listening at home, I want you to try this because you're not going to believe it. And I just started doing this after all this time. It's been 13 years I've been doing this workout, but I've never thought of getting the people who are directly listening to me on the radio or see me on TV. I've never really got them to think about, well, let me get them involved so they can see what I'm doing here. Because DDP Yoga, tagline, it ain't your mama's yoga. It's its own animal. And this is the quickest way to get your heart rate jacked up in the fat burning zone standing still. So I'm going to give you just a little piece of it. So with your hands in front of you, you on a wireless mic? Can you talk?
Yes.
Without having your hands on a phone?
Yeah, we can talk.
Okay, so push your thumb and index fingers against each other. Now really push them hard. Do you feel like the inside of your forearm, your bicep, and your pectoral muscles all engage?
Yeah.
Okay, now keep pushing, but straighten your arms straight out in front of you. Don't bend your elbows. Straighten them and push those fingers, those index fingers against your thumbs. Now pull your pinkies away. In other words, try to pull your pinkies away from your thumb. See how your whole hand engages?
Yep.
Also, the outside of your left, your forearm on the outside, your tricep, your deltoids, and your trapeze, your trap muscles. Now, keep pushing, but reach your arms up like you're throwing up the diamond cutter sign, but create your own resistance as you move. You can do this sitting down. Lean back as far as you feel comfortably. Now bring your arms out to a cross. Clench your fist tight and hulk it up. Really get that crab shot. Roll your shoulders in. Now attention, shoulders back, chest out. Open those fingers wide. At ease.
There you go.
Feel your forehead. Did you already start to get a little bit? You feel you're starting to get your forehead a little hot, right?
Oh yeah, Tyler and I've been doing it for about 3.5 weeks now, and you know it's true. It gets your heart going. It gets sweat just pouring off your face. You know, you wake up the next morning, you feel sore, but it's not that bad sore to where you can't move. It's that good sore that makes you want to keep doing it.
And what you just said to me earlier, you said, did you ever think it was going to get that big? That's the answer to the question. When I realized that dynamic resistance, that's what I call it. It's really like isometrics. The actual real word is isokinetics. That's what that means when you're engaging your muscles and you're moving, creating your own resistance. So people aren't going to remember isokinetics. So I just figured dynamic resistance. That's the best way to explain it. So when I realized by wearing a heart rate monitor that I could get my heart rate jacked up, standing still with minimal joint impact, yet still dramatically increase my flexibility and my core strength, well, I knew I had a workout that it's never been done before. So when Arthur, you got to remember, Arthur Borman, the disabled veteran, the guy with over 8 million views on his video and counting, you got to remember that was 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. And today, because my stuff, DDP Yoga, isn't about, look at my abs in 60 days. Look at my abs in 90 days. Because where's most people abs 60 days or 6 days after that? Oh, they're gone. DDP Yoga isn't about look at my abs. It's about look at my life.
Yeah.
Look how I own my life now, a la Jake Roberts.
Absolutely.
A la Scott Hall. A la Chris Jericho, whose back was blown out. They said he was done. That was 2 years ago. He saw the original Arthur Borman video. He was so inspired, a guy like me who wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. Now add that to a wrestler doing another wrestler's workout. That's unheard of. Mm-hmm. It's never been done before. It took someone of Chris Jericho's class and stature to say, this works. Yep. You need to do it. Before I knew it, I was sending DDP Yoga to Kane, Santino, The Miz. I mean, Zack Ryder. The list kept going on and on and on. It was all Chris Jericho, Ryback, before he was coming back, because all his core strength and flexibility was gone. The Feed Me More cat who's eating it up, he came back and gives DDP Yoga huge props. I mean, it's all because of Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
but it's really...
And Jericho actually was the selling point for me to actually say, I can, Jericho can do this. It changed Arthur's life. I can probably do this. So it's, it's definitely inspiring people, because it's not that it's hard work. It's just you have to have the motivation to do it. And, you've given sort of a second chance at life for several people, such as Arthur, such as Jake the Snake Roberts, and now Scott Hall, just to name a few. How are Jake and Scott Hall doing? Because I know that, you recently posted a video of Jake reacting to his Indiegogo campaign goal being reached. And you recently did one for Scott Hall, and you were asking for $80,000, and you've actually surpassed that. I think the last time I checked, it was at $95,000 with still time to go. So, what's the reaction for that kind of outcry, the outpour?
It really helped show the boys, especially Scott and Kev. They to me, they were two of the greatest wrestlers and characters, promo. I mean, they had it all. To me, both of those guys, nobody did it better than them. There are people who've done it as good as them. Maybe Shawn Michaels, his own animal, but after that, those guys could have been both 5-time world champions. But they had a little problem with, alcohol, drugs, pills, etc.
Those demons.
And towards the end of their career, they didn't really want to be around. And I'm not saying DDP Yoga saved their life by any stretch of imagination. I just think both of them ran out of hope. And go back to looking at Arthur Borman's life and what he went through. And when we finally retuned that video up and just changed a certain thing, put a song in here so it really grabbed at you emotionally, Arthur gave I gave him hope. One guy gave him hope. And then he has given millions hope. He's the one who gave Jake and Scott. They were like, wow, that's amazing. But I gotta say Jake, because Scott hadn't even seen it. He saw the before and after picture, and it's not even an after; it's a during picture because he's not at the end of it yet. But Scott Hall was in his hospital room, and one of his fans had come in, and he was helping out at the hospital, and he showed them that before, and I'm going to call it a during picture of Jake's recovery. And he was blown away. So, again, someone gives someone hope, and then they give millions hope. So when you ask me, did I really think that this was going to blow up? Yeah, I did. But I didn't think it was going to happen now. I thought it was going to happen a couple of years ago. And then it didn't. And then I realized that, there's so many times we want to quit. We hit a wall. We fall down. And all it takes is getting back up again and moving forward. Now, if you quit, then you fail. But as long as you're still trying to at least get some part of that goal, you never fail. You just keep working. And sometimes you just got to keep going. Like, I can't tell you how many times I second-guessed myself over this period. And it's a lot. But there'll always be someone who would send me that email, or I get some kind of text or something saying, I can't tell you how much you helped change my life, and now, I feel like there's so many different things that people have said to me over the years from, I wanted to die like Jake. And Jake's, to me, is of all the people I've helped so far, that's the most personal to me because Jake Roberts helped me find my way in professional wrestling when everyone laughed at me and said, you'll never be anything. You're too old. It won't happen. And they were wrong. But he taught me a lot along the way to how to make people care, when it came to the ring. And now it's just reversed, and now I'm helping him do something, and now he's so motivated about helping people. And that's the really, really cool part of the story. And Scotty, he's over 60 days alcohol-free, pill-free, everything. And he can't wait to start working out. April 9th is his hip surgery.
That's awesome.
So, it's going to be really cool to watch him, just physically continue to change and get stronger and come back to being the bad guy. I think it's going to be really cool as this journey continues.
Hey, WNS listeners, just wanted to take a quick minute to tell you about our friends from Beaumont Emergency Center. They are now open 24/7, located at 4004 College Street on the corner of College and I-10. You can give them a call at 840-4004. It's the first of its kind in Beaumont. They can treat any illness or injury. You can also receive prompt attention by a physician. They have individualized care for children of all ages. They've also got a private exam rooms with direct nursing evaluation, on-site lab services, x-ray, CT, and bedside ultrasound. They have a welcoming reception area with front desk personnel. They also have a comfortable waiting area with drinks, snacks, and a flat screen TV. You will be quickly seen by a physician within minutes upon your arrival at the facility. They also have a quiet environment to provide excellent care. It's Beaumont Emergency Center, now open 24/7, 4004 College Street, corner of College and I-10. Give them a call, 840-4004. It's the first of its kind in Beaumont. Tell them WNS from Sports Radio Beaumont sent you.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, the king of bada bing, the master of the diamond cutter, the three-time world champion. And you, monkey, well, you're listening to WNS. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Bang!
You're listening to an exclusive interview here on Sports Radio Beaumont, 1450, 1510, KIKR.
We've talked a lot about, all the many people that you've helped, and you're obviously a very accomplished wrestler, but do you feel like this is like your new calling in life to help people?
I think it's been that for a while now. I swear to God, I said this 5, 6, 7 years ago, I said, you look at 1996, 1997, I was involved in the feud of the year, according to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, with the Macho Man. I was rated number 4 wrestler in the world, 97 and 98. I hit the heights of professional wrestling when it was at its highest. And I said that, it's funny because I honestly believe that when this finally blows up, it's going to so overshadow everything that happened in the 90s for me. And that's a bold statement because that was like crazy hot. Mm-hmm. It was like I was living the dream at a different level. Just getting there on TV and being a part of the show and being a part of it was living the dream. Making money and living my dream was the dream. I always tell people the American dream is finding something you'd love to do and figure out a way to get people to pay you to do it. Well, I did it in my younger days when I was running nightclubs. By the time I was 21, I was running nightclubs. It was so much fun, I can't even explain it to you. And I left that at 35 to follow my dreams of being a in professional wrestling. I started at 31 part-time, but I left to go full-time to take a shot at getting in WCW as a manager. I managed the Freebirds and Scott Hall. Now, this goes back with me and Scott Hall. We have always helped each other when the other needed it. He needed a new look, A to Z, from the toothpick to the black hair to the brush-cut beard. That was all my ideas. He just played them out perfectly. And he became one of the biggest stars in the business. And when he came back to WCW with Nash, and they were the baddest guys on the planet, and nobody dropped them for 9 months, I did. Nobody got to them before DDP. Nobody. And that night I put on the NWO shirt, give Kev the big hug, and Scott, grabbed my hand. We shook hands, and we went to pull away. I pulled him in the diamond cutter. The roof blew off. That was the beginning. Kevin Nash getting backdropped over the top rope through the table, me taking off into the crowd. That was the beginning of my career rocketing. Mm-hmm. And right after that, it followed the Randy Savage. And ran the feud that I had with Savage, which, again, feud of the year. I was so blessed, and it was Scott that really made that happen with Kevin. And again, now I'm just coming back and helping Scott after he helped me. There's a lot of history with me, Jake, and Scott. So, it was an amazing time of my life. But what I'm doing today, I can't even express in words. I get choked up all the time, because it's just so emotional at times. And it's powerful. And now that my company is just like, it's killing. We're killing it. And people are 20% of our sales every day come from friends, family, and coworkers. That means people are telling each other about it.
Yep.
That's as cool as it gets to me.
And it's actually going to end up expanding even further because you recently filmed a documercial. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we went out to L.A. Last week. Jake came out with me, and I brought Arthur and a couple of our other great stories. We have so many stories that are, we've been filming Jake from the beginning. As a matter of fact, yesterday we filmed our first workout that we had in like 5 weeks because of his shoulder surgery, and he's so far ahead of where he should be right now, especially for being a beat-up 57-year-old warrior. But Jake's video will be one of the ones that'll be coming up soon, where you can see that transformation in the video. It's like really powerful. Of course, we're filming everything with Scott too, but we've got a lot of other people out there, and one of them is this guy Slim. Mm-hmm. And I actually brought him and his wife out to be part of the documercial. She lost like 40 pounds, and she looks friggin' amazing. But he started at 601 pounds. And in 9 months, he's down 178 pounds.
That's very impressive.
But more importantly, so strong from doing the workout where he couldn't even do any of it to begin with. And all of that is filmed. He can stand on one leg, and you've probably seen me do it in different pictures, and hold my foot over my head with the other leg. Mm-hmm. Slim, at over 400 pounds, can do the same thing. On either side, he's over 400 pounds. So this guy, I have a video up on DDP TV, and it's titled, "Who Inspires DDP?" Well, Slim would be one of those people. And his sister, who's 21, just put a picture up on Facebook, and she put 6 months later, 73 pounds down. She's on her way to looking awesome. She's really looking amazing right now for what she's done. And again, let's go back to how I started this conversation. DDP Yoga was never about weight loss. It was about healing my body, healing my back so I could go back in that ring at 42 and live the dream again. The whole weight loss thing is just an awesome side effect.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The product does work. I use it. Our co-host Tyler uses it as well. He's about to have to buy some new pants. It's slimming him down. My face is slimming down, so it's working. I'm feeling a little more flexible. For more information on that, go to ddpyoga.com and also join teamddpyoga.com. That's where you're going to get, the biggest support group that's out on the internet as far as for the program goes, because they have, nutritional tips and, what to cook for dinner. Just, and they're really nice people. I enjoy going on there every once in a while and talking to them. And you can also follow you at RealDDP on Twitter and at DDP Yoga for all the information. You can go to youtube.com/user/Diamond Dallas Page for all of that information as well. And
so let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When you first signed up on Team DDP Yoga, mm-hmm. were you blown away by how many people came by and welcomed you, or what?
I was, because you first sign up, and I linked it to my email, and I was getting email, welcome. Everyone was just so friendly, so nice. It was it's a nice feeling, because you when you join something like a gym or something like that, you always feel intimidated going the first time.
Right.
So whenever you go and you're welcomed to the site, it makes it have a much better feeling.
That all happened because I've helped so many people on that site. I still do every week I'm on there with somebody, but I'm only paying attention to the people who are putting the work in.
Absolutely.
If you don't put the work in, I ain't got the time. Mm-hmm. I got so many people asking for my attention to help them, because some people think my initials now are JC. They're not. I'm just a friggin' wrestler. I've had a lot of emotional emails sent to me from people, and I mean a lot. So I try not even to read the ones up online and stuff. There's just too much. I'm just a guide. I'm not responsible, for people go, thank you so much you're doing for Scott and so what you're doing for Jake and blah. Yeah, I'm just their friend, and I'm guiding them.
Yeah.
And they guided me, both of them, at different points of our lives, and helped me, live the dream at a whole different level. And so, right now I'm just helping them just restructure things. And Jake has been, Scotty's been amazing too. I'm just so proud of him on so many levels. But Jake, it's been a longer time for Jake. It's like 7 months now, and he's back to a guy. I shouldn't even say back to the guy I used to know, because I don't know this guy. This guy's work ethic is unmatched. His I guess want and desire to help people now, just because he was reached out to. I think helping and helping people change their lives. And I always say own your life, as you guys know. Helping people own their lives, I think that's the friggin' coolest thing you can ever do. And with Team DDP Yoga, I tell them, I said, listen, if I'm helping you, you help others. And you'll see Slim come by there and welcome people. You'll see Arthur come by and welcome people, and Terry and Stacy, and the list goes on and on.
Mm-hmm.
It's all different times when people hit, because you can't welcome everybody.
Yeah.
I try to, but it's not no automatic response. It's like you got to go there and click and hit and move and bang.
Yeah.
And then when people actually put the work in, I follow up on them. And then I won't answer emails for a couple days on that thing, because then it gets like 50 of them. And then I have to sit down. Thank God you can talk into your computer now and it writes.
Yeah.
Because that makes life easier for me.
Well, as a fan of wrestling, I grew up during that time whenever you were getting it to the height of your popularity in wrestling, and it's a great honor to get to talk to you. It's even a greater feeling knowing that you're one of the few who have gone and done something even more positive in their life, after the wrestling career was over. Because, you see a lot of people kind of just fade off into the distance. You've gone headfirst into reaching out to helping a whole new generation, and it's a really good feeling knowing that you're still healthy, you're still helping out, other people out there.
Yeah, like I say, it's the coolest thing I've ever done, and been lucky enough to do. And for anybody's out there who's listening, who has a dream, you got to follow that dream, and you start it by setting goals. And people may not believe in you. Most likely they won't, because people, especially parents sometimes don't believe in their kids. But it's really not that they don't believe in them. They really don't want to see them go for that dream, because when they fail, they're going to be so disappointed. But there's always a different, it may not be the exact dream that you were thinking of, but there's always a way to find at least a portion of it. Like, I know a lot of kids who come up to me and want to be wrestlers. And I'm like, so let me ask you, we'll probably be at an independent show when this happens, because I like to show up at least once a month. Mm-hmm. I like to do an independent show, and I just did 2 of them in a row. Actually, we're doing 3 out of 4 weeks as of this month, but I try to go once a month because I like to reconnect, and I like people to see where I am and see what kind of amazing shape I'm in. It's going to be 57 April 5th, and I went to this show, and just the last one I was at, the guy goes, Diamond, can you at least tell me, what advice would you give somebody wanting to be a wrestler? I said, first, get an education. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you, because today's day and age, for kids out there that are, in their teens, going into their 20s, there's no such thing as having any kind of a job forget a high school education, without a college education. And they really should start thinking about masters. Like, what am I going to get my master's in? Because it's all going to come down to, and it really isn't really, I don't even think schools look at that, you graduated from this school or that school, unless it's Cornell or Harvard or Yale or something like that. I think they're looking, did you put the 4 years in? Did you put the work in? That's number one. And then if you went and got a master's in whatever you're doing, okay, you're going to be one who works extra hard. So I'm going to hire you. You know, so because the wrestling thing's only going to go so far. Because the next question I'm going to ask them, will you be happy to just work like these guys are tonight? Will you be happy never getting any higher than the independent scene? And then I said, Dan, I just want to do it. I don't care where I do it. It's sort of like playing music. You know, there's musicians out there that will never, and there's millions of them, to quote Jericho, ever be a musician that plays on the big stage. But they might work themselves up to play in a local bar, and they're getting paid money to play music. Mm-hmm. It might be a part-time gig because they play X amount of nights and they got a real gig on the side, but they're still playing music and making money. It's the same thing with wrestling. You're not going to make a lot of money, but you can go out there and have fun playing that character you watched on TV for all those years. If that's going to make you happy, now, could you get to the WWE or TNA? Yeah, it's possible. You know, it's, really tough, but look at guys like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. I mean, those guys lived on the independent scene for years. Mm-hmm. They wrestled each other so many times, they probably can't count that high. On the independent scene. Now they're the biggest stars in the WWE, so is it possible? Are they big guys? No. Is it possible? Yes. You got to imagine, I'm sure that just most people out there could not even imagine how much this guy sacrificed to get where they are today. And they're biggest, you can't get bigger stars than they are. So it's all possible. But I'll guarantee you, Punk never gave up. Daniel Bryan never gave up. That's what Arthur's video is called. Never, ever give up. Arthur Borman's inspirational story. I mean, that's what it's called. But it's really just called Never Give Up. So, anybody's out there listening, whatever your dream is, don't give up. But don't just sit there and go, well, I don't know why it's not happening. Don't try to be a wrestler and don't eat really good and lift weights and train in the ring. If you're not doing any of that, well, why isn't it happening? I don't know. Look at it. And one of the things about DDP Yoga, the program guide, which you guys read, I set up a whole section up there on setting goals. Yep. You know, how it's, you use SMAC for an acronym. The S stands for specific. You got to set a specific goal. M is for measurable. You got to lay it down 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. It's got to be measurable. Specific, measurable. The A is achievable. Am I going to lose 50 pounds in a year? Hell, that's achievable. But C, is it compatible? If you're eating Dunkin' Donuts and, not really friggin' working out and you're eating garbage, guess what? That's not compatible. But if you are eating a good eating plan and you're eating real food, hell yeah, 50 pounds in a year is easy. You could do it in 6 months and it can be easy if make it really compatible. And then the K, keep it going. Make it part of your ritual. Make it part of your daily routine. That's what K stands for, keep it going. Specific, measurable, achievable, compatible, keep it going. It's all there, man. Absolutely. That's why we have so many successful stories.
Absolutely. And like I said, go to ddpyoga.com for all the information on that. Team DDP Yoga, it certainly does help you out. Follow them at DDP Yoga. Lots of inspirational tweets on there. Diamond Dallas Page, it has certainly been an honor. We certainly do appreciate you coming on the show.
Okay, boys. Appreciate it, man.
You have a good night.
Thank you.